Uh-oh. What's up, tribe? Here I come. What's going on with y'all today? How's everybody doing this Sunday afternoon? What's up, Xavier? Hey, Lock Queen. I guess the notification did not go out, so we're going to go ahead and send that notification out. How y'all doing? Well, we're going to go ahead. I can't send the notification out. I'm going to share it. I wish I did have the power to send out my notification because y'all know YouTube be playing games, honey. YouTube be playing games. Whew. All right, y'all. Let's get ready to get this party started. So, we have a new show. We're going to talk about it. We have a new show down to the OWN network, honey. Down to the OWN network. We got a new show going on. Hey, what's up, Naturally Mar? How are you, darling? So we have a new show. It is called Ladies Who List. And it's called Ladies Who List Atlanta. So I'm assuming that if the show gets popular and hopefully picked up, then maybe they want to franchise it, which I'm sure is always the goal. Thank you, Lauren. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So it's called Ladies Who Listen. It's out of Atlanta. So let me get to my notes because I guess the notification didn't go out, but like I said, y'all know people catch it. A lot of people just have to catch it on the replay, honey, because y'all know YouTube be playing. But we're gonna make it happen, Captain. We're gonna make it happen, Captain. I'm gonna put my notes, yeah. Sure. Thank you so much, Lauren. Thank you so much. All right, here we go. I don't have a lot of notes, but I can kind of go from where I know. So the premise of this show, like I said, it's out of Atlanta. The premise of the show is you have a show about real estate, high-end real estate, all Black women who are doing the damn thing in Atlanta. Now, here's the thing. From my understanding, or as much as I've been able to confirm, these are legit people. These are not like they found somebody who's been doing real estate for 5 minutes and they just put them on the show and they're going to try to hype them up. These are people that, you know what, Lock Queen? I thought about that because there are a lot of reality shows recently that are dealing with real estate. Because, you know, at one point, the only show that I knew of that dealt with real estate as far as Black folk was the one on VH1 that had Suge Knight's son. And that ran for like 2 seasons. I guess it's canceled now. That ran for like 2 seasons. And that was still a mixed cast. Like the majority of the cast was Black, but it was a mixed, it wasn't a 100% Black cast. But now there's another show on, I don't know if it's streaming on one of the like smaller streaming services. I can't remember the name of it, but it's a that's what it was called. It's called Love and Listen. Thank you, Xavier. There's another show. I haven't watched it, but I've seen it. I don't know if it's on the All Black streaming network or whatever, but it's on one of the smaller streaming networks, and it deals with real estate. And then we have Selling Tampa, which I have reviewed. Y'all go check out my playlist. I've reviewed all 8 episodes. And now we have this show, Ladies Who List. And so let me say this. I'm always here for the come up. Right? Here is, before we get into the show, my only complaint is going to be this. My only complaint right now, because it might change, but for right now, my only complaint is I feel like we have a show built on a premise that's a really, really good idea, but I don't think it's going to happen. So the idea of the show is you have a group of women who are in real estate, and they're not all agents, and I like that too. I like the fact that some of them are agents, some of them are brokers, and some of them are closing attorneys, which if you've ever bought any type of real estate, you know that all of those things are needed when you get to the table. So I like the fact that these are women who are in different aspects of real estate, and it's not all the same. So I'm here for that. But the idea is that these women are going to band together because they're tired of having to pay these fees to basically a white brokerage firm. Why not pool their resources and create one big brokerage firm that's minority owned, that and that way they keep the majority of the fees to themselves. I'm here for that. I think it's a great idea. I think it's a great concept. I just don't think that by the end of these episodes, I think it's probably 10. Usually when it's a new show like this, it's usually 10 episodes. I don't know if by the end of 10 episodes, we're going to be any further than where we started last night's episode, which basically was in the let's sit down and talk about it phase. But I'm here for the journey. Okay. I'm sold. I'm all in. I'm going to review it. Okay. I'm all in. They had another black female realtor show a few years ago. They were in Atlanta too, but I can't remember the name of the show. I think it's called Selling in the ATL. You know what? I think I might remember that, Lauren. I don't know if I ever watched it, but I think I might remember that show. So we started the episode off last night. So let's just jump into it, okay? We met Kiana and Kyra first. We met Kyra's an agent and Kiana is a broker. And Kiana said that she got it from the mud, okay? Said she is from Fayetteville, North Carolina. She grew up in the projects and she worked for everything and had to pull herself up by her proverbial, what's up, Abby? Her proverbial bootstraps to make it happen, right? That's what she has said. Hey, Cams. Mwah. Hey, boo. That's what she has said, okay? Now, she said that her and Kyra have it in common, so I don't know if both of them are from Fayetteville or both of them came from the hood. I can't remember. I don't know. I mean, I guess I can't remember. I don't know if they ever said it because I don't remember hearing it, but neither here nor there. We got that. They made sure to show a closing in the first episode. They don't want no criticism on that. Yes, they did. They absolutely showed that, honey. They showed that. And I think because we're in Atlanta, we're going to probably get a couple of celebrities sprinkled in. Like last night's episode, we did have the actress, and I've seen her face. I think she's I think she's on Sisters. I think that's the one from Sisters. If not, I definitely know her face. I know her face. And if that's the one I'm thinking of, if it is the actress from Sisters, I'm like, you had a hell of a come up, girl. Because if it's the lady that I'm thinking of from Sisters, you went from being, because if it's the one I'm thinking of, she used to do like hair and makeup for the show, and she basically convinced Tyler Perry to give her a role on the show, and now she's like a full-time cast member, and now she's buying a $3 million home. I ain't mad about it. I hope it's not a Bell Collective all over again. They got absolutely nothing done. And that's exactly what I'm saying, conversations and libations. That is exactly what I'm saying. I think the idea is great. I just don't. And I mean, even with A Love and Marriage Huntsville, the whole premise was totally different by the time. Don't get me wrong. The thing I like about Love and Marriage Huntsville is even though the comeback group is pretty much defunct, they are still doing things. They are still doing some positive things in the community. That is Fatima. I thought so. That's Fatima from Sisters. So that is her, Xavier. I thought that's her. I thought that. So if that's, I mean, y'all are saying it's her. So I thought that was her. Y'all know she started off working in like hair and makeup, and she begged Tyler Perry for an opportunity to for a part. And if y'all remember, her part was very small in the beginning. She was just Andy's secretary. And then her part got bigger and bigger and bigger. And now she's getting her own spinoff. Her and Zach are going to have their own show, their home spinoff. So I ain't mad at her. I mean, shout out to Tyler Perry for believing in her and giving her a shot. And shout out to her for making it happen. Because, baby, she went from working on hair and makeup to buying a $3 million home. And I think we talking about, what, a 3-year window? Because Sisters ain't that old. Sisters started maybe 3 years ago. Y'all know Tyler Perry just The shit, they be having a 2-week hiatus and it'd be season 2, season 3, season 4. But I feel like the show's only been going on for like 3 years, I feel like. Tyler's good for giving somebody a come up. Crystal went from hairdresser to supporting cast to starring and now has her own spinoff. Exactly. Yes. So, still waiting on the child. Let go of the comeback group. The comeback group ain't coming back. The comeback group ain't coming back. Powerful, absolutely. So yes. So listen. Even though I had to stop reviewing Sisters, honey, y'all know I'm always here to support. When I see something positive happening and I see the come up, okay, I'm here for it, girl. So, yes, Kiana is everything. I met her a few times. She's a bomb businesswoman. Really, Ariel Proctor? Okay, girl. Season 4. Yeah, I think season 4 started last week, I think. Yeah, I just had this. Y'all know, the people who've been rocking with me know that I had to let go of the show. I had to. When I first started reviewing the show, I used to get, that was my best viewed show. I used to get like a 1,000 views. And then I told y'all, for those of y'all that are new, first of all, shout out to all the new subscribers. I've gotten like 100 subscribers in the last week. Thank you so much for being here. If you are new and you don't want to drop down, that is okay. I appreciate you being here anyway. Thank you so much. I hope you like it and you stick around. But something happened and I fell out the algorithm. I don't know what happened, because I used to get good views on my videos, and then my numbers just plummeted. Well, I do think I know what happened, but that's another conversation. So we working our way up. But baby, Sisters, even when my numbers had fallen, Sisters used to still be consistent for me. I would average 1,000 views on my Sisters, and then it went from 1,000 to like 100. I said, I can't. Not for the headache that Sisters be giving me. Now, I don't mind the shows that I like watching, but Sisters, it got to be a chore. It got to be a chore, honey. I think it's because the second and third seasons were so poorly marketed. That might have been it too. Yeah, Crystal Haslett. Sisters is good this season. I don't know. I wouldn't know. I don't watch it. Anyway, let's move on, y'all. Let's get back to ladies that list. Or ladies who list. So I like Kiana. I think I'm gonna like Kiana. She seemed no nonsense. She seemed like she's about her stuff, but she's not rude. I don't feel like she's rude about it. And she has sort of taken Kyra under her wing. Now, Kyra is up and coming. I think Kiana said that she had just closed on her first $1 million property, which is something else I like, because they are not acting like all these women are selling $15 million properties, okay? Because that's just not we know that there's a high-end real estate market, but the average real estate agent is not a high end. And if they are, they work their way up to that, right? A lot of real estate agents start off with the basics, the average, what the average person can afford, and they work their way into that market. So Kyra sort of got a bad rap from what they were saying around Atlanta, because she posted a picture on her social media of her in a bikini, honey. And they said that nobody was going to take her seriously because she was posted on that bikini. And I'm going to say this. As somebody who sometimes can be a little old-fashioned, I could absolutely see where they're coming from, right? But first of all, let me say something. First of all, that picture was fire. Like, when they showed the picture, that picture was everything. She had a banging body in that white bikini in that infinity pool where you could see straight through. You could see like half of her body above the water and half her body below the water. I was here for it. And if the picture was connected to a piece of property she was trying to sell, I'm really here for it. Now, if it was just a picture of her showing off her banging body, not quite sure why that was on her professional page. You could put that on your personal page and keep it moving. Listen, I got 2 Instagrams and 3 Twitters because I got different things I put in different places, okay? I have my ReallyBTV Instagram, and then I have my personal Instagram. I have my education Twitter that I post and I tweet out about stuff dealing with work and all that. I have my ReallyBTV Instagram, and then Twitter, and then I have my old Twitter the very first Twitter I had. I hardly ever go on that one anymore, but I still have it. It's still there. So it's like I understand separating the two. So I wasn't quite sure why she posted the bikini picture. But Kiana said that she took Kyra under her wing because she was like, I don't feel like they should give, like, she's a hard worker. She's out here, she's scrapping, she's hustling. And just because she posted this bikini pic does not mean that she is not ready for the big time. And I'm going to take her under my wing and make it happen. So I'm here for it. I'm here for it. I still don't understand why she did it, but I ain't mad. Listen, it's her thing. It's her thing. I like this show better than the Tampa show. You do? Even after just one episode? Okay. Not a whole chore like what it was, Lauren. It was. It got to be a chore because, listen, let me tell you something. That's just like Power Book 2 is a chore because they be playing with my intelligence. Okay, I don't like nobody playing with my intelligence. I mean, to a certain extent. I mean, all the TV is fantasy. I get that, but I'm talking about anyway. Chat. So yeah. Tyler Perry be playing with me. He be playing with my emotions. Okay, he be playing with my emotions. Anyway, so we see the two of them. Then we meet Crystal and Robin. Where do I begin? Where do I begin with Crystal and Robin, y'all? Let me start with Crystal. Crystal is a closing attorney. Crystal said that even though she came from a sort of privileged background, she has always been a worker. She had her first job at walking dogs. Then she had a job where she would steal the golf balls off the golf course in her neighborhood, wash them off, and resell them to her neighbors. That's how you know she a little privileged, because if you live in a neighborhood with a golf course and your neighbors play golf, there's a little upper middle class going on there. So we meet Robin. Now, Robin is a broker again. And Robin said that she ain't supposed to be here. She said she was a single mom. She was a teenage mom. She was never really raised. She was sort of left to her own devices, and she did what she had to do, and now she's here. I feel like two things. I feel like Robin has a chip on her shoulder from her childhood, whatever that trauma is. And I also feel like Robin might be dealing with a diagnosed mental illness. And I'm going to tell you why I say that. Because when Crystal made a comment about her about her acting crazy, because she didn't call her crazy. She said, "You're acting really crazy right now," or "That was really crazy for you to do that," or whatever she said. Robin went way left about, "Well, why would you bring this up? Why would you make this about mental illness? Why would you?" And I'm like, the average person says crazy and they don't mean it like I'm attacking you because you have a mental illness. But for her to go there made me think maybe Crystal knows about it, and that's why she got offended, because as her friend, maybe she felt like there should have been a little sensitivity there. You feel what I'm saying? I don't know. I might be reading too much into it. It's only one episode. But Robin's behavior, in my opinion, was totally irrational. So Robin goes to Crystal and says, "I have an idea." She says, "I want to start a power brokerage of all of us, like Black women, why are we paying our money to these white brokerage firms when we can start our own and have our own? We have the resources, we know each other, we know enough people, we have the talent. Let's make it happen." Crystal's thing was, "I love the idea, but do you think you can execute it?" And this is exactly what she said. She said, "Because you don't play in the sandbox well with other people." Y'all, when I say Robin lost her ever-loving mind, what do you mean? Why would you bring that up? Why would you say that to me? Why would you make that about? Why would you? Why would you? And I was like, what? She said, "Why would you take something I confided in you and throw it back in my face?" My thing about that is, does it matter if you told her or whether it was her own observation? If you know you don't get along well with women, why would you voluntarily want to start a business with women? And she said, "Because that's different. That's professional. That's not personal. I can separate the two." Can you? because you couldn't even have that conversation with Crystal without losing your damn mind. You couldn't even do that. You couldn't even have an honest conversation with Crystal without losing your damn mind. Yep. Am I tripping? Am I tripping? It was a valid question Crystal asked because you are putting my name on the line because I'd be the one bringing the women to the table on your behalf. And you know what? That's exactly it, because that's the thing I said. I said that in my review. I said the fact that you can't even get these women to show up because you have burnt bridges or pissed them off or irritated them that they won't come if you call. The fact that you have to go to your friend and say, friend, can you please bring these ladies together so we can have this conversation? Now, Melly said Crystal was wrong. Why was Crystal wrong? Tell me why you say Crystal was wrong. Yeah, it matters because if I never acted like that professionally, why would you bring it up? But I feel like she has. Because, and the reason why I say that is if she's never caused any issues on a professional level, then why she can't call those women herself and bring them to the table? Why does she have to go through Crystal? If I have a professional relationship with somebody, regardless of how I might be personally with them, why I can't call them about a professional manner? I like this show showing the closing attorney doing the part with the closing of a home. They never saw. Right, exactly. That's why I like that too. Powerful. I like the fact that we're seeing that all the different levels. You're not tripping. You made a highly valid observation. It's a concern, but if she as her didn't have to do that at that moment, just be supportive. But again, when is she supposed to do it? It's a private conversation. They were in her office. She brought her idea, and all she's saying is, if I bring these people to the table, is this something you sure about? Because all she said to her was, are you sure? Because you don't tend to play well with others. Like, I didn't think that what she said was out of line. I didn't think it was an out of line question. The ladies think Crystal's unprofessional too. That's why they're afraid. That's true. That we found that out later on, that Crystal doesn't have the best reputation either. We found that out later on. Listen, this one episode, so I can only, but you're right, Melly. We found out later on that Crystal might have some stuff with her too. Okay. Is it a concern? But as her friend, she didn't have to say that at that moment. Well, when was she supposed to say it? Nah, she needed to have that conversation with her immediately, especially if you're my friend. But that's what I'm saying. When was she supposed to say it? If I bring an idea to you, a business idea to you, and you don't think, and you see some flaws and you see some potential issues or some potential flaws, as my friend, shouldn't you bring that up? Crystal is condescending. Even her sister said it. What's up, Dewan? This looks like it's going to be an interesting. It does look like I said, I'm on board. I'm going to review it. Yeah, I'm on board. But I don't know. I hear what you're saying, Melly. I hear what you're saying, boo. I personally just feel like if I'm your friend and I bring you an idea, I'm bringing you the idea for a reason. I at least I am. I mean, I can't speak for how everybody does things, but I'm bringing you the idea for a reason because I want your opinion. I want you to tell me what you think. If you see some flaws, if you see where something might not work, I want to know. Because I certainly want to know before I put my money out there, before I put my time out there, before I, create some situations that are going to cost me time, money, and energy. If you see a blatant flaw in my plan, I personally want to know. Now, and that's what I'm saying. Like, Robin's reaction was way, like, when she told that woman, I'm about to throw this champagne in your face. And the thing is, like, on one hand, you might say, oh, she was just playing. But by the end of that conversation, I didn't think she was playing. Like, and when she first said it, I was like, okay. But by the end of that conversation, I didn't think she was playing. I think she really would have thrown that damn champagne in that woman's face. But here's the other thing that made me, the other thing that made me feel like, I feel like that's not the first time Robin done acted a fool with Crystal. I just feel like that's not the first time that Robin has given Crystal a whole performance. Now, I could be wrong. It wasn't out of line. She's in customer service, you have to display a little diplomacy and teamwork with others, but she can't be tripping every turn. It's like she couldn't wait until the cameras on to embarrass Robin, their frenemies. I don't feel like, I mean, one, yes, we're filming the show, and the whole premise of the show is this idea. I don't feel like she waited for the cameras. I feel like that's what they were talking about on camera. I don't know. Her reaction is why she needed to bring up the conversation. Right. I mean, like I said, to me, that said it all when she had to go to her friend to set the meeting up. That said it all to me right there, because I'm like, clearly there's a reason why you don't have the band, the what's the word I'm looking for? You don't have the credit with these ladies to do it yourself. That's how I felt about it. I do feel like Crystal could be somebody that could be very condescending. I could see that in her mannerisms, how she carry herself. I wouldn't be surprised to see her be have a condescending tone. Now I wouldn't be surprised at that. I don't think she does that with clients, hence her success. Well, yeah, I don't think she does it with clients either, but she clearly does it with her business associates. She clearly, well, no, she does, because remember when she went to Kiana said, Crystal, I'm gonna go because you invited me. I'm gonna go because you invited me. And later on in the episode, Kiera, when they were talking about when Tiffany and them made that little comment about Crystal about how, they had a transaction that didn't go so well. Y'all heard what Kiera said. Kiera was like, oh, well, Crystal is my closing attorney. That's it. That's all. So she did have people that went to bat for her. So I mean, it looks like her and Tiffany had a little friction, which I'm sure we're gonna get that backstory later. But it also looks like she had some pretty good relationships with at least two of the other ladies, Kiana and Kiera or Kyra. I done made up a whole name for that girl, Kyra. Then Kiana went back and the other ladies and said, heck no. No, she wasn't saying because of Crystal. No. Kiana didn't know. Well, let me say that. I didn't catch that. I missed that part. I know Tiffany said she didn't have the best relationship with, that her and Crystal went to high school together, but they had a bad transaction. And if that happened and I missed it, Melly, I ain't gonna say that it didn't happen. I'm gonna say I missed it. Did I miss that, y'all? Did Kiana say she wasn't gonna go? Because I thought Kiana said, I'll go because you're asking. Yeah, the other ladies not right. Yeah, now Tiffany, right. The other ladies, yeah. That's what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is Crystal has good relationships with at least two of those ladies. It was four of them. At least two of the four she has good relationships with. I don't know if Robin got good relationships with any of them. We know she handles her clients well. And that's one of the things she said to Crystal. She said, check my reviews. And Crystal even said to her, she said, I'm not talking about your clients. I'm not talking about how you treat your clients. I'm talking about how you treat everybody else. All right, we'll come back to Crystal and Tiffany, child. We'll come back to Crystal and Tiffany. I mean, Crystal and Robin. Then we meet Tiffany and what's her name, y'all? Tiana. I wrote her name down wrong, and I can't, I wrote her name down wrong. Tiana. I think it's Tiana. Now, Tiffany is a closing attorney, and Tiana is an agent. Tiffany, y'all, she ain't user-friendly. Yeah. It's Tiana. Thank you. Thank you so much. So, y'all know Tiffany hit me the wrong way because Tiffany one of them parents that I be talking about, okay? First of all, Tiffany says she be teaching her kids how to cuss. See them, the same kids that come to school, and when they cussing at school, and I correct them, and their response to me is, well, I can talk like that at home. My mama don't have no problem with me cussing. See, that's your child. That's you, Tiffany. That's what you send into school, okay? That's number one. Number two, you also went on to say that you don't, that the school gets on your nerves when they calling you about parent teacher conference. If ain't nothing wrong, don't call me. Excuse me? See, I will never, and I said this in my review, I will never understand that mindset of a parent. I don't understand how you can send your child somewhere for 8 hours a day and not give a damn about what's happening in those 8 hours. I don't understand it. I don't understand how you can send your child somewhere Monday through Friday, 8 hours a day. Your child spends more time with me during the week than you do. And one night a quarter, we ask for you all to be present. One night a quarter, we ask for you all to be present. And that's too much? That's too much to ask? Exactly, Melly. Exactly. You said DCPS teacher. I used to be a DCPS teacher. I was a DCPS teacher for 10 years, honey. I said, when she said that, and she said it like she thought it was cute, I was like, there's nothing cute about that shit. And I mean, that's just my own personal, because I'm a teacher thing. That's my own personal thing. But I'm going to put that to the side, Miss Tiffany. But you the same one. You went to high school with Crystal, and you said you and Crystal had a bad transaction, a bad situation a few years ago. It sounds like you ain't let go of that because you said it was a few years ago, but it sounds like it's still fresh in your mind, okay? It sounds like it's still fresh in your mind. But I'm gonna put a pin in that one, Miss Tiffany. Okay. And then now Tayana is the exact opposite. You're a teacher and a mother, you're right. Mwah. One of my kindred spirits. Melly. Now Tayana is the opposite. Tayana's son said he ain't like root beer because it had too much. The sugar count was too high, and he could tell his mama what the sugar intake was on the can of soda. Now, listen, I ain't mad at you. I ain't mad at you. But that's a lot that a kid know what the sugar intake is on the can of soda, okay? But I ain't mad at you. I'm not mad at you. It's never too late to create some healthy habits and churn. As long as it's not obsessive, because we don't want to create eating disorders either. As long as it's not obsessive, okay? Right, exactly, Melly. I again, as long as it's not obsessive and it gets to, because again, that's how eating disorders are created. And contrary to popular belief, men have eating disorders just like women do. I think it's more prevalent in women, but men do create eating disorders because, and the reason why I say that is because it was her son that made the comment about the sugar, too much sugar in the soda. So I don't know. That just seemed really interesting to me that he's that conscious about his sugar intake. Like, what kid cares about their sugar intake? So I don't know. I feel like we have some opposite ends of the spectrum here, okay? It's too health conscious. Just say no soda. Definitely creating, yeah, it definitely can be dangerous. I just, again, I don't even know how you even had that conversation with a child. Like, I would never even bring that up to a child, what the sugar intake is. And honestly, I probably will be worried about why my child was so conscious about their sugar intake. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I would really be like, why are you worried about that? That's probably where my mind would be. I'd be like, why are we so concerned about our sugar intake? Hello? Anyway. So that's them. So we met them. So then we saw Kiana. We saw Kiana go on a showing with Drew. I feel like Drew is gonna be our since this is a show all about women, I feel like he's gonna be the male exception because we saw him in 2 scenes in last night's episode. So Drew did a pocket listing, which I guess a pocket listing is when the house is getting ready to go on the market, but it's not public yet. And so I'm gonna see if any of my people got a buyer and get them first dibs, so to speak. And that's where we saw Crystal, the actress, come in, look at the house, and the house was beautiful. Abby, are you paying attention? Abby, can you get that troll for me, please? If you're in here. It was absolutely beautiful. And And Kiana sold that thing. Y'all saw how Kiana sold that house, and you could tell that this goes back to what we were saying about chasing Tampa, Lord, selling Tampa and Alexis. When you don't have all the specs in front of you, if you are skilled at what you do, you can still sell a house. She didn't have all the specs. She didn't know all of the granite, Italian marble, heated floor. Like, she didn't have, you can tell she didn't have all of the amenities in front of her, but she knew how to sell a damn house. She knew how to sell that house. Very professional. Thanks, Ebbs. Very professional. Because I was thinking that too. When she first started, because he was like, well, I'm gonna let Kiana show you around the house. I'm gonna go make a phone call. And I was thinking, Kiana don't know a whole lot about that house. But baby, she sold that thing. Oh, she sold that house. Okay. And she knew what her client was looking for. She said, my client wants a modern home, but they want a brand new house. They don't want a house that somebody else has already lived in, but let me see if I can persuade her. And I said, okay, then. So at the end of that conversation, that was when she said, we're going to put a contract down. We're going to play with the numbers. And by the end of that conversation, Drew was like, welcome home. I said, oh, well, when they must be confident that they're going to be able to work them numbers out, okay? Because he said, welcome home. Okay. So good for them. Good for them. And that was a nice house, Miss Crystal. Now, what we found out, that's when the other Crystal, the attorney Crystal, showed up to talk to Kiana and try to ask her if she would come to this meeting with Robin, and Robin had an idea. And we find out that Miss Robin tried to pull the old okie doke on Kiana. Now, during the panning, Kiana was opening up her brokerage firm. And there was a time period, the way it was explained was that there was a window of time where Kiana could not, I guess she was waiting for her paperwork to go through. And during that window of time, she could not work as an agent, but she already had some open contracts that she needed to close. And so she reached out to Robin to be the agent of record on her contracts so that they could get closed while her paperwork was being pushed through, because it was moving slow, because a lot of the agencies that she needed were closed because of the panning. Robin said, I'll do it for you for $500 a contract. Now, I believe she said that she had something like 30 contracts or something, which is a lot. I don't know. Maybe I'm exaggerating the number, but I thought she said 30, but I could be wrong. But baby, I don't care if it was 13. I don't know what the going rate is, but I can only tell by Crystal's reaction that $500 was excessive. Because I'm sure there's a fee. Like, you doing me a favor, but you also working. I'm gonna break you off a little something, okay? I'm gonna break you off a little something. But $500 per contract, because let's be clear, all of them contracts weren't luxury $3, $5, $10 million homes. Let's just be clear. They weren't. Some of them were probably, $300,000 houses, 200, because in Atlanta, a $300 house is still a nice house on some property. Okay. So it was 26. Thank you. I knew it was a high number. $500 per contract, that was excessive. And so Kiana still has a bad taste in her mouth because she felt like Robin was trying to, get over on her and hit her with the old okie doke. It's way less than what she would have paid to her brokerage. Oh, see, I don't know. It was up there because it was either 25 or 26. Yeah. That's way less than she would have paid to the brokerage. Well, Crystal and Kiana seem to think that was a bit excessive. Now, again, I don't know nothing about real estate, so I can't say whether it was or it wasn't. I can only go by their reaction, and their reaction seemed to say that was a bit excessive. Again, I understand that the fee needs to be paid. Can't expect anything for free, everything for free. Run that girl her coin, especially if she's making $25,000 commission. Okay, brokers just want 3%. Okay, so y'all, so let me ask y'all in the chat then. So y'all feel like all of her stuff is luxury? Okay. So y'all feel like Robin wasn't wrong for asking for $500 a contract. Y'all feel like that was excessive? Okay. I'm gonna let y'all in the chat tell me what y'all think. Melly said, it ain't excessive. I mean, she didn't say that, but by her comments, she don't think it's excessive. Natural don't think it's excessive. Angel said it wasn't excessive. Okay. Okay. Listen, I'm gonna defer to y'all. I'm defer. I understand. Listen, I don't have no problem with Robin saying you need to run me some money. Like, I don't have no problem with that at all. I have no problem with Robin saying run me my money. But I felt like because of the response that was given, I thought it was excessive, but I guess it wasn't. Okay. Well, Kiana, she wanted the hookup rate. Oh, is that what she wanted? She wanted the friends and family rate. Now, let me tell y'all something, and y'all know I have told y'all this before. I don't believe in the friends and family rate. If I have a friend who's in business and I'm asking them to do something for me, I do not want a favor. I mean, if they're gonna give it to me, that's one. But what I'm saying is I don't ask for it. I'm not one of those people that run around asking, oh, can you, I mean, you got a discount on that? No, if I call you and I need you to do something for me and that's what you do, that's your business, I'm gonna pay you what you say that's your rate. Now, if you choose to, give me a discount or whatever, that's on you. But I'm not gonna ask for it. Okay. Well, you're making $25,000 off of 500. It's chump change. She is selfish. Ooh. If it was a percentage, I would argue that would be excessive based on the price of the homes. Flat rate is way more fair. Okay. And she could have negotiated. Okay. I think because of the situation, it should have been lower in price. All right. All right. I hear y'all. But the majority of y'all don't feel like Robin was wrong. Okay. All right. So we already know that Kiana gonna show up with an attitude because Kiana didn't already let us know that she basically is only going so she can tell Robin to kiss her ass. So we already know that that's gonna be a problem. Then we see with Tiffany and Tiana, they don't seem to have the best relationship with these ladies either, with Crystal or Robin either. So it seems like we're gonna have this sit down dinner next week, but it definitely seems like it's a whole lot with it. Now, Crystal decides that she needs to have a follow-up conversation with Robin because she didn't like the way that conversation ended. She felt like Robin was doing a bit much, and she felt like she needed to have a conversation with her. Her sister told her to go and talk to her, clear the air, get it straight. Kiana is right to be suspect of Robin. If you tried to screw me once, that's more than enough for me to sever ties with you. There won't be a repeat performance. All right. All right. So they meet at the park. First of all, Crystal was late, and I think Robin was already irritated because Crystal was late. That irritates me too. That if I'm already mad at you and I agreed to meet up with you so we can make up, clear the air, fix whatever the problem was, and you are late, Houston, we have a problem. Houston, we have a problem. I hope they can work it out and become a force, or Kiana knows Robin is business first. Okay. So I feel like Robin was already a little irritated when Crystal got there. So when Crystal gets there, they're supposed to be clearing the air. Again, Robin feels as though Crystal shouldn't have said what she said about her not playing well with others. That was something that, yes, she doesn't like women and she don't get along with women, but she never lets that interfere with her professional, and that she had a problem with Crystal bringing it up. And then Crystal started doing this nervous laugh thing. Again, Robin even said to her, I don't like all this laughing. Are you taking this as a joke? I'm not taking this as a joke. It's not funny to me. And she even asked her, she said, are you nervous or something? Why do you keep laughing like that? Like, is it a nervous thing? And I feel like it was. And I feel like that's all Crystal had to say was, but if I'm mad and I'm irritated at you and I feel like we're trying to clear the air and you keep giggling and laughing, that's going to irritate my soul. And then when I say to you, can you please stop all that laughing? Like, it's really bothering me. It's really irritating me. And you keep laughing. I had a problem with that. That was irritating me. See, y'all thought I was on Crystal's side on there. Y'all thought I was all the way on Crystal's side, but I wasn't. Now I was on Crystal's side with the I don't feel like the comment she made about the crazy thing. I don't think she meant it the way Robin took it. And that's why I think it's deeper. I think there's a deeper thing there because I really don't think she meant it the way Robin took. I mean, I don't think she meant it the way Robin took it. But I also understood why Robin was irritated. Because Robin even said, you show up late. You know, you come here. I already didn't want to do this because this is not what I do. I normally don't be having a bunch of sidebar conversations. Once I've said what I've said, I'm done. You know that about me. So I'm here trying to work this out with you. And you late, and now you laughing at me, and I don't like it. So Robin actually got up and when I got up because they were standing up, Robin actually walked away. Now, this is how I know that there was a lot of editing in this scene because what's up, Virgin Love? It's on. It comes on what, Friday night? It came on after Love. It came on after Ready to Love Friday night. This how I know that there was editing going on in this scene because 1 minute we saw Robin walk off and Crystal standing there laughing at Robin as she walked off. And then the next thing you know, we got Robin and Crystal at the top of the steps talking again. So I was like, clearly there was some editing that happened because the last I saw, we saw Robin leaving. And then I think it went to commercial and it came back and they were talking again at the top of the steps. But ultimately, they did all this arguing, and I don't feel like they ever resolved their own issues, right? I don't feel like those issues were ever resolved. And then she gonna say, well, do you still want me to set this dinner up? And in my mind, I feel like y'all need to get back on the same page before you start setting up a dinner where you supposed to be her friend and having her back. Y'all not even on the same page. How y'all gonna present any type of united front to these other ladies if y'all not even on the same page? So I really feel like, and again, I know we filming the show, y'all. I get all of that. But I really feel like before we start bringing other people into this conversation, we need to fix where we are. The fact that Robin left that meeting still very irritated at Crystal, I don't know. I just feel like this meeting next week is a recipe for disaster. What y'all think? What y'all got to say? Because I think it's a recipe for disaster, child. Powerful said very much editing. Yeah, there was a lot of editing at the end of that scene. I think so too. I think so too, Powerful. I think they argue all the time. And I think that's another reason why her sister, because listen, when Crystal was talking to her sister seemed very unbothered. Because I think they do this all the time. I think her sister is used to this with them. I think the sister is used to this back and forth with them. I get the impression that this is what they do. I really do. Because let's be clear. Robin says she don't have a whole lot of friends because she don't really mess with people like that. I don't think Crystal got a whole lot of friends either. I think they got business associates, but I don't know if they got a lot of friends. I'm just saying. And Robin, did y'all hear when Robin told Crystal, I didn't even want to be your friend? She said, I didn't want to be your friend. You were trying to be my friend. I didn't want to be your friend. I said, damn. I don't know how I feel about that. You gonna tell me I didn't want to be your friend? They're two peas in a pod, child. It was a mess. It was a mess. That whole situation, that whole conversation at the end was a mess. It was a mess, y'all. But that's the episode. Editing is a hell of a thing. Am I right? Because that was a whole lot of editing. That was a whole lot of editing in that scene. Because like I said, there were a couple of times where you could tell the conversation wasn't flowing, where they had chopped it up. You know what I'm saying? There was a couple of scenes where they had been chopped up. But that was blatant. That was a blatant one. Like, we saw Robin walking up them steps, and we saw Crystal standing by the thing laughing. And then I don't know if it went to commercial or if the scene just cut away, but the next scene we saw the two of them at the top of the steps arguing again, and I was like, well, when did Crystal walk up the steps? And see, that's the other thing. It's not even so much when did Crystal walk up the steps. What was said in that middle window? What was said in that window, that time? They definitely brought the drama. And so that's why I say I love the concept. I love that we I love that we got some great scenes in this first episode. As far as the houses and stuff. I love that we got a sale, or at least a strong potential of a sale in this first episode. I love the fact that we see Black women in different aspects of real estate. They're not all just agents. They're brokers, they're attorneys, they're clothes. I love to see that. The other thing that I saw was that Kiana don't have a whole lot of love for Miss Tiana, because you heard the comment she made about she showed up at this $1 million home and she felt like Tiana don't know what she's doing because she ain't staged it. And I said the same thing when they showed that house. I was like, girl, you can't be showing people no $1 million home and don't stage it. Like, even I know that. I know that watching some of these real estate shows and stuff. You gotta stage this stuff. You gotta make it look pretty. Make people vision living there. Like, okay, I could see this. Hell, when I was renting my best friend's old house. I was renting her house. And when she was getting ready to put it on the market, I didn't want to buy it. And so even I had to make sure that before I left the house in the morning, I made sure I had to make the bed, make sure there wasn't no clothes on the floor, make sure, that the house, no dishes in the sink. Because even though I was still living there while the agent was showing the home, I had to make sure the house was ready at a moment's notice. At any moment's notice, I had, like, there were times where she literally would call me and say, hey, I'm with a client. We're going to be coming through in about 20 minutes. Is that okay? I mean, there was a window. I mean, she couldn't come at 10 o'clock at night, but there was a window when I knew, okay, there's a potential that she's going to be bringing a client past here. And generally I would just, go take a ride around the block, or, to get out their way. Cause a showing don't take but 20 minutes, child. I wasn't living in a mansion. Okay. It was a 2-bedroom townhouse. Okay. It wasn't that big. So it didn't take long, but yeah, I mean, and don't get me wrong, I still have my shit all over the house, but there were certain things that they wanted me to do, knowing that they're showing this house and they're trying to sell it. So when you have an empty $1 million property, I know there's an expectation that when I walk in here, you are selling me the dream. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But anyway, y'all check it out. It's on the OWN network. Friday nights. It's called Ladies Who List. And I'm here for it. I'm on board. I'm on board. Lord, the trolls is coming through. But I'm here for it. So, Melly, I have not seen you before. Welcome, honey. I enjoyed you in the chat. I enjoyed your conversation in the chat. See how we don't always have to agree, but we can have good conversations. Okay. Me and Melly didn't agree at the beginning, but we had a good conversation. I hope you come back, darling. Especially since you're one of my sisters in the struggle, honey. You said you were teaching at DCPS, darling. I did that 10 years, honey. 10 years. Honey. I miss my co-workers from DC. I definitely don't miss DC. But I do miss my co-workers. I ain't gonna lie. All right, y'all. You're year 9. Oh yeah, we missed each other. You came in after me because I'm in. I've been teaching a long time, darling. Yeah, I left DC in 2010. 2010. You want to relocate to DC? Is DC good about what? Like, you gotta be more specific. You say is DC good? What DC about what, baby? What you mean? DC is the cost of living here is high. The cost of living here is high. It's a lot of gentrification in the city. So rent is high. The suburbs are for your 14 for you have a 14-year-old child, or what you mean? Virgin Love, can you give me a complete sentence, darling? What you mean for my 14? I don't know what that means. Oh, For schools. Okay, for schools. Um ugh. Mm. DC, if you can get your child into the right schools, yes. I mean, that's the easiest way I could say that. Just in general, is it a good school system in general? No. Are there good schools that you could get your child into? Yes. I wouldn't move here for the school system. I definitely wouldn't do that. No, ma'am. Oh, if you're in a blue ribbon school, no, ma'am. No, ma'am. Mm-mm. No, ma'am. Mm-mm. I wouldn't. Now, if you have a great job opportunity, and you're moving here because there's a great professional opportunity, then what I would say is do your research on the schools, and apply for apply for the schools. There are some good schools, you know what I'm saying? But if you're moving here I wouldn't move here for the schools at all, not at all. But if you are moving because you have a great job opportunity and you have a 14-year-old, then I could help you apply for, because a lot of the DC schools that have certain programs, you got to apply for them anyway. And I think it's a lottery system. It used to be application, but I think it's a lottery system now. So it's sort of like the luck of the draw. But if you're not going to move into DC, the city, if you're moving down here for a job opportunity, you're a flight attendant. Yeah. So if you were moving down here because you just wanted to change your scenery or something, I wouldn't necessarily move to DC. Like Volvo said, you can move to Northern Virginia, where you have Reagan National Airport. I don't know what you would be flying out of, but you have Reagan National Airport if you move to Northern Virginia. You could move to the Dulles area, which is probably about 40 minutes outside of DC, where Dulles Airport is, which is an international airport. The schools are going to be better out there. Not perfect, because ain't nothing perfect. Y'all know that, but better. A blue ribbon school, it's a title that a school gets when it meets certain criteria for certain things. I don't have all the criteria in front of me, but it would be based on like matriculation, test scores, teacher retainment, that kind of stuff. Those types of schools. Again, I don't have the criteria in front of me, but generally it's test scores and student matriculation. Yeah. You work for United, that's a bad base. Oh, okay. Yeah, honestly, if you're looking for a change of scenery, I'm not saying don't move to the area. I wouldn't rely on DC public schools, because it's not. I mean, if you could afford private school, you could do that. But I wouldn't recommend DC public schools. That's just me. Again, you said your daughter's 14 or your child is 14. So that's what, middle school, getting ready going to high school? Yeah. DC doesn't have they have even less options on the high school level. I wouldn't do it. That's just me, though. That's just me. But again, you have Reagan National Airport, which is in Northern Virginia, and that's not a bad base. The cost of living is still a little high, though. Northern Virginia, the cost of living is a little high. Dulles, I think the cost of living is a little cheaper out that way. If you go further out that way, it's a little cheaper, but it's going to put you about 40 minutes outside of DC, though. National Blue Ribbon School Program recognizes public and private elementary schools and high schools based on their overall academic excellence or their progress in closing the achievement gaps among student subgroups. Yep. And the way they measure achievement gap is test scores. Yeah. What's up, Star? You'll wait till she graduates? Yeah. Yeah. Now, when she's ready to go to college, you got all kinds of colleges down here. Now, I'm going to tell you this. Now, I will say this, Virgin Love. The one thing that I will say is an advantage for DC, and I don't know what the criteria is, so you might want to look this up, because I don't know how long you have to be a DC resident. The one thing I will say that it's an advantage if your child graduates from a DC public school and you no sound. Y'all can't hear me? Y'all can't hear me? The chat's not moving. Okay, now, okay, the chat wasn't moving. Okay. But the one, I'm going to say this, the one thing that I say is an advantage is that DC, because DC is not a state, DC is a city, your child will be eligible. Students who are DC residents and graduate from a DC public school, they are eligible to get in-state tuition pretty much anywhere. So that's something that's an advantage. But again, I wouldn't necessarily move here just for that. But now the DC area has a whole bunch of colleges. We got a lot of HBCUs. We've got a lot of PWIs. Now that, that's an advantage. We have, Howard, Bowie, Morgan, Coppin, Delaware State, is right up the road in Delaware. Then we have, GW, Georgetown, University of Maryland. I could go on and on and on, but there's so many colleges right here in this area. That's an advantage. That's something you might want to look into, because then she'd be eligible for in-state tuition. But again, I don't know I don't know how long you have to have been. You thought they changed that rule? Did they change it? I didn't think they changed it, but I haven't taught in a DC school in a long time, so. I taught at a charter high school about 6 or 7 years ago. That's the last time I taught in DC, and that was at a charter school. But when I was there, they still had it. But again, I'd have to look it up. Well, thank you, Vovo. I'll look it up, Virgin. I'll look it up. I'll ask some friends of mine, because I honestly don't know. I thought that was still a thing, but maybe it's not. All right, y'all. Let me get out of here. I'm gonna get y'all some reviews tonight. We're definitely gonna get into Portia. I think we got Salt Lake City. I'm gonna try to get y'all Power. I watched it. I'm gonna go on and try to get that review out to y'all tonight. But that's what we got. That's what we got cooking up. That's what we got only for public universities. Okay. So only for public universities. Thank you, Melly, for clearing that up for me. Thank you. Only for public universities. And again, like I said, I wouldn't even move my child down here just for that, because you still got to get her into a good senior high school for her. A good high school for her senior year. I wouldn't even risk it. If she's in a good school, and that's one thing if you say she ain't in a great school system, but if she's in a good school system and in a good school, girl, I wouldn't do it. Now, like I said, if a job opportunity came up and you had an opportunity to move up in your career and make more money and you were relocating, that will be a different conversation. But to just move for, nah. But like I said, if you want to move to like the suburbs, like Montgomery County in Maryland, their schools are pretty good. And then, like I said, Northern Virginia, and then further out into the Dulles area, those schools are pretty good. You ready to retire, child? Shit, me too. Shit. I wish I could. I was just having that conversation with a coworker last week. I wish I could. But with that being said, y'all, I'm going to talk to y'all later. Everybody have a great start to your week. I am starting my cleanse tomorrow. Remember, I had to put my cleanse off because I have my groceries and stuff. So I will be starting my cleanse tomorrow morning, child. Y'all pray for me. I got all my stuff I need. So in the morning, I'm going to make my little smoothie. And I told y'all I'm doing the modified one. So I'm doing a smoothie for breakfast and for lunch. And then for dinner, I'm going to have a meal. So wish me luck, y'all. Wish me luck. But thank y'all for being here. Thank y'all in the chat for helping me out, child. Because, I don't know all the answers. I appreciate y'all's help and assistance. And I will see y'all tomorrow. Mwah. Peace.